Boom! What's going on, guys? My name's Zach, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about being burnt out on EvE Online, or well, any other game that you play constantly. So I've been playing this game for years and years and years and years now, and anything you do for any amount of time, whether it's like PvE, PvP even, or like nullsec, highsec, whatever, it does get boring after elongated periods of time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So, in the past, what I've done, I've just dropped absolutely everything. I mean, basically I've been focused on PvP for the last good few years, so what I'll do, I'll just join like a little random corp that does like PvE stuff, like whether it be industry or missions and stuff like that, so it sort of helps break up the monotonous grind of doing other stuff, and then you come back to appreciate what you were doing previously a lot more when you're doing something that you really wouldn't normally do. Obviously, I wouldn't normally do missions. I'm quite lucky to have a shit ton of ISK in the bank, so I'm not really worried about ISK at the moment. So basically what I've done, I've dropped red versus blue for a little while, and bought myself a sexy little Macarial here. As you can see, got it all pimped up with some nice shield boosters and gisty A types and stuff like that, just to make it nice. It's a really good mission runner for like if you just want to blitz missions, but I think if you are going to do mission running constantly, you need to get yourself like a Golem or a Vorgor, because they've got the obviously the utils for salvaging and stuff if you need the ISK, but obviously I don't, so we'll just crack on here. One thing I found really difficult this time round is actually finding a corp that'll take us. I mean, I know it might sound stupid, but yes, Mink, that's what she said. I know it might sound stupid, but obviously I can do everything pretty well in the game. I'm pretty skilled up for anything, like especially mission wise. I can just pew through them, no problem at all. But I don't like doing it solo. I mean, if you do it by yourself, then you're defeating the purpose of having a break from what you were doing previously, because you're just going to get even more burnt out. I feel like when I get burnt out on EVE, rather than obviously just stop playing it, you just need to have a completely change of surroundings. So I've just moved to like some random area, like away from where I was, and surround yourself with like new people with like fresh ideas and things like that, and new stuff to talk about. A really good factor in getting back to where you were in the first place. So obviously I've been in the recruitment channel for the last couple of days. I'm going to start just calling it Jitter Local Spammer Recruitment Channel, because most of the time that's all you're getting here. I mean, there is quite a few co-op things, but this morning it was just like people constantly trolling, and I think CCP really need to get onto this channel and start moderating it in some form. I don't know how you'd actually do that without having someone in constantly, but it's just absolutely terrible at the minute. So yeah, just I'm struggling to find a little co-op. Every little co-op I've been messaging who just do missions and stuff have been saying, oh, well, you're from 2003, you've got X amount of skill points and you've been PvPing for like years, why do you wanna join us? And it's like, well, I'm being honest with you, I've got no permanent plans to stick around with you. I just wanna have a few guys to do some missions with or some industry work, and it's proven to be a right bitch, because no one, I don't know if it's just the age of the character, because he's like 2003. Let's have a look at the exact date. Yeah, 2003, 140 odd mil skill points. I mean, just finding it rather bizarre. I mean, do I come across as untrustworthy? I don't know. Maybe when I was a pirate. Fuck no. I mean, I've scammed a fair few people in the game and made people's days really bad, and probably made people rage quit in the past when we used to do the other wars and stuff with Pry and Danny and Clay and all that. This is something that I need to do, like probably like once a year, just for like a couple of weeks, a week maybe, or maybe even longer. It just depends. I mean, the last time I did it, I think it was for like a month, and I had some real good fun with a bunch of good lads from the Athosarians. I think it's closed now, like, but it was a good laugh, and definitely is worth a change. I would recommend, like I say, rather than quitting the game like completely for like a couple of weeks, just join it with some new people and have some new stuff to talk about, and that keeps you going. Well, it keeps me going, so that's the only tip I can give you. I'll probably get asked in the comments about the fit for the ship, so I'll just quickly run through that with you. Let's start with the rigs. We've got a large core defense capacitor safeguard tech 2. It's not really that expensive, and it is worth having on the Mac because the cap is pretty horrible on it, and it helps the booster last a little bit longer. 2 CCCs, helps the cap also, some 800 repeating artillery 2s. I've got a large energy transfer rate 2 on there, but that's mainly just for like other corbies and like fleet members and stuff like that. You don't really need to have it on. I mean, I'm using Geno implants at the minute to help the fitting, and it does get quite tight on the Mac, so you probably want to drop that. In the mids, I've went for a shield boost amp and just a large shield booster, Pith A type. I don't really see the point of fitting extra large boosters because they're really expensive and also they drain your cap, and the Mac's cap's pretty poor at best. A couple of invulns, I don't normally change them up for like whatever missions. I know you normally swap them out for like a couple of dedicated resistances, but the 2 invulns do fine with that booster if you keep it running. I mean, the booster runs for 6 minutes, which is probably overkill, like, but just to be safe, because the ship is worth about 2 bill and you don't want to lose it to rats. Gisty A type 100mm rather than the T2 or afterburner size one. I prefer the Gisty A types because, or like any Dead Space ones, you get like less of a cap nerf over the T2s. The T2 gives you a minus 70% overall cap, which is bad news on the Mac. It's, like I say, it's got a bad cap to start with. And the Gisty A type one I'm using here only gives you like a minus 3. And it wasn't that expensive. I'm using like a few hundred mil or something, which is worth it really when you're flying like a 2 bill ship. In the lows, I've got 4 Republic Fleet gyro stabilizers. Just get that DPS on, get that DPS, that's what it's all about. Also it helps with the fit as well. Like I said, I'm using the Genos, but if you're not, then you need a couple of these because the CPU does get quite high if you want to like the full rack of DPS and range mods. Tracking enhancers, obviously helps the range of the guns. The optimal range, like I say, is probably, I think it's like 70k, maybe 77k actually, and I think that the ship can only target up to 77.5 anyway, so your optimal range is like your full complete range of target and area, so that's beast, and that's what makes it awesome. So the DPS is pretty beast and the tracking's awesome. I mean, I've only got what, 746 DPS with the titanium sub loaded, but if I put some public fleet in, there you go, 1221, and if you overload that, well, that just gets silly, but you don't really need to be overloading on missions. So it's really good for like sitting out 50-60k just pewing all the rats. Yeah, so that's it. That's how I get over my burnt out experience on EVE, or that's what's worked for me in the past rather than quitting. I hope I'll give you a few tips, and if you've got a little small corp that's after a spare pair of hands for a little while just pewing missions or whatever, please give us a shout. I'm trying to find something in Minmatar space because my stand's pretty low with them, but anywhere will do. Even like brand new corp with just a couple of people in just running level 4s or whatever you are doing and want to have a laugh, please give us a shout and I'll pack all my gear up and I'll come up and find you. So thanks for watching guys, I hope it helps, and I'll catch you around in the next video.